Hey everyone, it's Sean from Bolens Mac. How's it going? It's been a while since the last video. Just wanted to do something a little bit different, something that I wasn't really expecting to have to do. But since I did all the videos on getting the Bolens snowblower running and ready for the winter, I used it the first few storms that we had, and the last or second to last storm, I suppose, the engine decided to blow up. It had oil in it. It was a little low, but it wasn't out. And these engines don't take that much oil anyway, half a quart to 3/4 of a quart maybe. But I just noticed that I was making my last pass, and I noticed it was slowing down a little bit. Stopped snow blowing. Noticed that there was a lot of blow-by out of the crankcase, and went to go shut it off, and as it was winding down, when I shut it off, I heard the connecting rod break. So I'm just going to show you what I'm seeing for the first time, because what you're seeing for the first time on this video is what I'm seeing for the first time. I'm taking the engine apart right now and separating the case to see what the carnage is like inside. It didn't blow through the side of the case, so I'm going to try to rebuild it. Hopefully I can. The crank is still connected, it's still in one piece. It still rotates partially, but it'll stop. It'll stop very abruptly. So without further ado, let's get over and check out this engine, see what's going on. Now, as you can see, I already have parts of this torn off. I've got the belt guard off of it. I started taking some of the belts off. I have. I'm just going to leave the drive belt here on. I already took the blade belt off the pulley. I took the set screw out of the pulley. I'm just going to try to slide the whole thing out with the drive belt still on, and then I can get it off once I get the pulley out off the crank far enough. I just sprayed this with some penetrating oil because I did just try hammering on it, and I couldn't get it to move. I don't really have ideal tools here. Most of my good tools are at work, obviously. So I've got a clawfoot hammer. I'd rather be using a sledge, but I don't have one. And I'm using a piece of 1/8 angle to try to bash this pulley off of here. So hopefully the penetrating oil works. I'm not sure if it's gonna do anything or not, but we'll go ahead and try to get this thing off of here. So I was just looking at the snowblower. I took the belly pan off and tilted it up so I could get a look at these bolts that are holding the motor down, just to see if I had to deal with any nuts on the bottom side. Thankfully I don't. They're tapped holes, so I can take them right out through the top, which is just going to make it a lot easier. But I noticed that there was a lot of slop in one wheel on this, and noticed that the axle shaft was actually, an inch out of the hub on the right side wheel here. And so I was looking at it, and I pulled on it, and the whole thing just came right out. And I noticed that the end of the axle shaft is snapped off inside the transaxle underneath there. So I'm gonna have to pull apart the transaxle underneath there and see what else happened. It seems like all the gears are still intact, because this has been broken for a while, obviously, because of the rust on it. And the rust on I don't even think it probably didn't even break this season. It was probably broken last season or something. Obviously the gears are fine inside, because the drive works fine on it. It was working up until the engine blew. So Anyway, I'm going to have to pull it apart, and hopefully I can get a replacement shaft for this. I don't hold out a lot of hope, though, because this thing is 33 years old, and this was back when they were made. This is back before MTD bought Bolens, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get parts for this or not. Alright, well, I finally got that pulley off, and I unbolted the motor right there. It's nice that they don't go all the way through with nuts on the other side. There's like welded nuts or tapped holes on the other side, so you can take them right out from the top, which is really nice. So I went ahead and took the cover off over the carburetor on the other side, and I'm going to try to pull this governor linkage off, but let's see. Get this one. There we go. These are all 3/8 on this cover. Yep. Right there. Broken connecting rod. Hey Jess, look. Yeah. Look at this. Come here. Come here. It's the bottom of the connecting rod actually broke there too. Yeah, there's still oil in it. I thought I got enough of it out, but I'll throw some of this kitty litter down there. Can't believe it didn't break the block. Oh, it did break the block. I didn't see that the block was broken before, but it was. It's broken around the side here. Never mind. Can't rebuild it.
Really?
No. I thought I could rebuild it, but I can't. Not with the block broken. There's no point. So as you can see, it is the connecting rod. That's the bottom part of it. It's actually twisted, and the rest of the connecting rod is right here, hanging out. And there's still probably at least half a quart of oil in here, or a quarter of a quart sitting there, and the other quarter of a quart is on the floor, so there was oil in it. Just decided to let go, I guess, but it completely roached the bearing surface on the connecting rod. So as you can see, the connecting rod is sitting right here, and it roached that piece of connecting rod. And I thought it didn't break the block, but turns out it did. It broke right behind the starter. I don't know if you can tell, but that's right out through there. Oh yeah, I can pull the pieces out. There's a piece of the block right there. And I thought that it was just the block was broken, but it actually broke the block up past the casting and broke into the cylinder walls. It's actually all the way up the block here through the fins. It's cracked all the way up. So this motor is goodbye Gonzo. Well, as you can see, the Bolens is pretty much dead, or completely dead. I'm gonna have to look into getting an axle. I'm gonna have to look into getting a drive disc for underneath. as well, because the drive disc is pretty much gone. And I am going to have to try to find a replacement engine for this. I did get a second snowblower. You'll probably see it in another video. Nothing special. It's a Craftsman 928. I picked it up pretty cheap. It runs really well, it works pretty well, but I don't think it works as well as the Bolens. It's not as heavy, it doesn't dig in as well, it doesn't have the traction, even though it's a bigger cut and a bigger engine. I can always take that engine and repower the Bolens with it. It's a 9-horse Tecumseh Snow King instead of an 8-horse. And it's a lot newer. It's probably only 15 years old instead of 33 or 34 now. Because I kind of want to sell that other snowblower, fix it up a little bit more, and sell it next fall and keep the Bolens. So I might look into getting another engine for the Bolens. We'll see. Anyway, that's the end of this depressing video. And after this, hopefully on to bigger and better things like motorcycles and things that don't have connecting rods that are broken in half and blocks that are cracked up the side. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.